What's happening, family? It's your man, CRB Jr., Motown Mafia Podcast, Big Boss Filmworks, live, Rockefeller Center, New York. Big Lou Stevens in the background. Come on through, fam. It's all good. It's all good. So we here just creating some content, taking some meetings, which have went very fruitful, which you guys will see the results of those meetings very, very soon. Checking us out on YouTube, make sure you're hitting that like, share, and subscribe button. Some of this stuff, though, will only be available on Patreon. Of course, we'll let you know through the YouTube platform. And also, on that note, the Diaspora Plug is coming back as Diaspora.
It's Diaspora Plug.
It's still the Diaspora Plug. You know, we had some cyber theft issues and things that caused that channel to get disrupted. But we're about to repopulate it, have all kind of entrepreneurial stories and some special insights about doing business, you know, in the community and all of that. So that's coming back up. That ain't going nowhere. But we right here at Rockefeller Center, fam. You know, again, it's a huge tie-in between New York City and Detroit, the whole Motown Mafia story, the whole 40-year saga that Eddie Jackson, the Fat Man, set in motion with my pops, the field marshal. So to update the story, in the 80s, after Pops didn't got out, Eddie didn't got out, Pop starts his run with his connection, Mr. B, Basil Miller, out of the Bahamas. So when I get popped in Miami on my way to the Bahamas by the DEA, Basil tells Pops and me that I've been compromised and I can't make the run to the Bahamas to drop off the money anymore. Fate would have it, he had some bankers right down the street on 6th Avenue that he was tied in with from his earlier career messing with the Medellin cartel with Escobar, Carlos Leader, and that whole crew. So to keep the story moving, family decide, you know what, I had just had a real rough summer. Me and Eddie Baby have blew through like $500,000 in 90 days on just some party and trick and shit. And they was like, this is a good time for you to go start your life over again. So I go here playing around, trying to get a date with this Dominican girl who worked at this clothing store called Benetton's. Used to be a big deal, the United Colors of Benetton's. I'm flirting with her in this store. Her boss comes bothering her about why is this guy distracting you from work. She says he's trying to get a job. I go along with this little charade that I'm trying to get a job here in New York City. By the time I get back, this broad, the owner, Monica Saldani was her name. She was actually friends of the Benetton family. She didn't call and offered me a job. I run it through Pops. He like, that would be a good front. You need to go to New York to drop off the money to the bankers. And if you working in New York, that'll be a good cover. You won't stick out like a sore thumb. Young black man handling all that money. You got a job in New York, boom, boom, boom. So I get a job over at the Benetton's on 51st and Madison for about 90 days. Me and the owners didn't really hit it off like we thought we would. Long story short, they end up firing your man. So I'm like, damn, I gotta call back home, tell Pops I done got fired. I ain't even got a front to be in New York no more. But I decided, you know what, to hell with that. I done went to school, I done went to college. I'm gonna get me another gig so I can keep my New York thing going for him. I went to Saks Fifth Avenue, the original Saks right there at 50th and 5th. I got me a tie. I walked past this joint, said they were hiring bartenders right here at Rockefeller Center. God is good. I ended up getting hired to run a bar that was teaching the first Fridays here in New York, right at Rockefeller Center. Ended up making a fortune. I was making so much money, they thought I was hustling. It was a $1,000 a day gig back in the 80s. Ended up being able to host parties at Radio City for the Grammys. It was just a real turning point in your man's life. We was able to turn the tragedy of getting fired into the triumph of a whole new experience and learning the New York bar, nightclub experience. Met all kind of people here from Radio City and all the big shots. Got a chance to work with the team from NBC because we're right here at 30 Rock. So, you know, the whole NBC Letterman and all that's filmed down here. The Olympic team from '88. Got a chance to work with them on their way over to Korea for the Olympics. Just a whole lifetime of experiences right here at Rockefeller Center. And yeah, the tree, 30 Rock, ties into the Motown Mafia story. So just want you guys to get a couple lessons. Often you can turn tragedy into triumph. God works in mysterious ways. often the setback is just a setup for the come up. So it's your man CRB Jr., Motown Mafia Podcast, Big Boss Filmworks, Big Lou in the background. Hit, like, share on YouTube, Patreon, special exclusive content coming up. Holla at your man.